forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Unchain my heart, baby, let me be. Unchain my heart, cause you don't care about me. You got me sort of like a pillowcase, but you let my love go to waste. So unchain my heart, oh please set me free.
I'm Tavis Smiley. That's Ray Charles, of course. Ray Charles is our artist of the day. We continue again our celebration of June is Black Music Month, and alongside these amazing conversations, we continue to celebrate the best of black music. And today we are featuring the best of one Ray Charles, all 3 hours of our program. I am honored to be in conversation right now with former member of Congress Cori Bush, founder of Movement for Freedom, talking about a little bit of everything, including Politivist Action Committee, her work there. So we spent the first half hour talking about everybody else, Zoran Mondami in New York, the Democratic Party, progressives. So the first half hour was about them. Now I want to talk about you, Cori Bush. Let me start with this before I go backwards. Let me go forward. Talk to me about your movement for freedom.
Yes, Movement for Freedom is an organization under politivist power. I coined the term politivist. It's the politician and the activist, not taking off the activist hat to be a politician. And what we are saying is that at this time, we need people who are organized, have the background of organizers, activists, advocates who are rooted in community. The community knows and trusts these folks, and how we can lead in this moment, coming together, taking care of our communities. So if the federal government is stripping away rights and defunding organizations that would normally be there to help people, especially that fill in the gaps where the social safety net isn't meeting the need, then we know people in our communities who can. We know Sarah at the end of the block has food, stashed, so we can send someone who's hungry to Sarah's house. We can send someone to Terry's house at the other end of the block that may have money for rental assistance, or has, is making blankets for somebody that has to sleep on the street. We are making sure that the community is able to take care of the community. And through that, what we've been doing right now is we've been providing providing tornado relief and mutual aid on the ground in St. Louis after a deadly tornado hit mostly the inner city of St. Louis on May 16th of this year.
Nope, I remember that well. Let me tell you a funny story. You told a funny story earlier about you're running for office and the yard signs with your face on it. It costs a lot more money than the yard signs without your face on it. So I think some of this audience knows this. I write about this, of course, in my memoir, What I Know for Sure, that came out many years ago. But I worked for Tom Bradley, the great mayor of this city, the first African-American mayor. We now have Karen Bass, of course, as the first woman and the first black woman mayor of the city. But Tom Bradley was there first, and I had the honor of working for him. After I worked for Tom Bradley, I ran for office myself here in L.A. I ran for a city council seat, had a good run. I was running against an incumbent, which isn't easy to do. Did very, very well, but I lost that race. And because my dream in the frame of King, let's put it that way, I've been a King student my entire life. I've since then, of course, written a best-selling book about Dr. King called Death of a King. But King has always been my North Star, and I wanted to be a true public servant, as you are and have been, Cori Bush, not a politician. And so in that spirit, I ran for elected office here in L.A. For the city council. I lost that race, and when I lost that race, I was devastated. I was emotionally, spiritually, psychologically devastated. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I was devastated. I was only 28 at the time, but I was devastated because I didn't have a plan B. I didn't know what my life was going to be beyond working for Tom Bradley and running for elective office. It did not happen for me. Many have heard me tell the story about my very first trip to Africa. I just so happened to have been a kid, and Maya Angelou took me to Africa with her. So imagine my very first trip to Africa. I'm with Maya Angelou for 10 days, carrying her bags. It's a long story. I detail it in the book, but I spent that time with Maya Angelou in Ghana specifically, where she was giving the Du Bois lecture, and Maya Angelou and I had many, many, many conversations during that trip. And again, she knew I had just run for office in L.A. and lost. And one day she said something to me so clearly that I felt stupid that I hadn't processed it in this way. She looked at me, Cori. I was sitting on the floor looking up at her in this chair. And she said to me, Tavis, you do realize that your hero, Dr. King, never ran for office. Malcolm X did not run for office. And she just ran the list of all these black icons who had never run for elective office and made the point to me very clearly of the huge impact they had, not just on our community, but indeed on the country, and one could argue the world. And it got my mind right to get me to understand that there was life after this run. There was life after this defeat. You know where I'm going with this. I am fascinated to know how you processed, and we'll get to AIPAC and what they did to you and Jamaal Bowman in a second here, but I'm just on a personal level, I'm curious as to how you processed in the days after your loss, losing that election.
It was absolutely devastating. It was devastating. And not because I can't lose an election, not because I felt like, I was untouchable or anything, because I believe that if you're qualified to run, meaning you meet the state's requirements to run for this seat, and any federal requirements, then, and you feel like you can do better than the person in the seat, you're bringing something to the table, then okay, run.
Yeah.
So that wasn't my issue. I was devastated because I knew that I was working for the people of St. Louis, that I was fighting for the people. I knew that I had given my all. I knew that I had done more for that district than my predecessor, even in the same amount of time. I knew that I had put myself and my community. I had just made sure that we were one, that I didn't go to Congress by myself, that St. Louis was with me. And I said it, St. Louis and I, every time I hit a microphone in Congress, because St. Louis means the world to me, and the people. And so that's what was devastating, was because I knew. I mean, I was on the steps of the U.S. Capitol for 4 nights and 5 days to make sure that people weren't going to be evicted during the deadly COVID-19 pandemic. Everybody told me I couldn't win a moratorium extension. They said the president won't do it, CDC won't do it. It's not going to happen. Well, we got it done, and I was able to save 11. We saved 11 million people at that moment, and 7,000 in my district alone. And so I knew that I was doing the work. I was only unseated because of the fact that I actually was doing the work, and that was a threat to the people who are in the administration right now. So that's what was hurtful. But it took me months to get myself together to understand that, again, like you said, that there is life outside of this, that you can still do work. Because the thing is, being in Congress didn't give me my voice, and so leaving Congress didn't take it away. So
That's
I
right.
am still somebody.
Yep, no, you are, and you're doing amazing work. You can tap into her work at Movement 4. That's the number 4. Movement, the number 4, freedom.com. Movement4freedom.com. And her PAC is Politivist. I love that word. She created one word out of two words. Politivist So once again, politivist and movementforfreedom.com is where you can learn more about the work and witness that Cori Bush is engaged in now. The rejoinder to that story that Cori just told is, look at what she's doing right now, this meaningful work she's engaged in every day. And look at what happened to me. I lost that city council race, and lo and behold, a broadcast career opened up, and that's how y'all got to know who Tavis Smiley is, because I lost that city council race. I can still be on the city council filling potholes here in the city of Los Angeles.
Come on.
And I ain't got a problem with that, but my voice has been heard around the world because I lost that city council race. Sometimes a loss is really a victory. Sometimes a dead end is not really a dead end. It's just telling you take a different turn, right? So I love the work that Cori Bush is doing now. I want to talk more about it when we come forward. And she went there, so I'm going to follow her. I want to know, particularly in this moment, given all that Donald Trump is doing, dropping bunker buster bombs in Iran, doing Bibi Netanyahu's dirty work for him, et cetera, et cetera. I'm wondering in this moment how she's processing what AIPAC did to both her and Jamaal Bowman. We'll do that when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
BET and PBS, The Tom Joyner Morning Show, and NPR, the cover of Jet and the cover of Time. #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list, 20 honorary doctorate degrees, a dozen NAACP Image Awards, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. From talk shows to talk radio, nobody's ever done it better. This is Tavis Smiley.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least likely to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Cori Bush, former member of Congress and founder of Movement for Freedom, and the PAC, PolitivistAction.com, has her own podcast now, Bowman and Bush, that she co-hosts with former House colleague Jamaal Bowman. Cori, I say this not just because you're on this program. I said it many, many times. I'm on the public record saying this repeatedly, that I thought too many folk were far too silent when you and Jamaal Bowman were targeted. And again, people can run and they can win. People can run and they can lose. You talked earlier about losing and how you processed it. I mean, life comes at us fast, and things happen that we don't control, and things happen to us that we don't like, and we're all witnesses to that. But it is a far another thing to be targeted. How have you processed all these years later now being targeted?
I think I got my chops in this area through the Ferguson uprising and all of the targeting and all of the surveillance and just everything that as activists, coming out of Ferguson that we went.
Got an audio issue right here. Faraji, somebody, Odell, we got to the sweet spot here now, and her audio kind of went out on me. So let's let them figure that out. But for those who don't know the story, I think most of you do. You know the organization AIPAC, and because of Cori Bush's and Jamaal Bowman's position on Israel and funding that is unabated. Many of us have commentary about it, but they were members of Congress and they were stalwart in their positions about this. Others, interestingly, are coming around now. You saw a few months ago Bernie Sanders, who is himself Jewish, rallied other senators to have a vote about the funding, the weapons that we continue to provide to Israel. And as I recall, there are just about 20 senators who voted for that measure. It didn't pass, but there were 20 senators who voted to slow down these weapon sales to Israel. So people are slowly coming around. And if you look, we've been talking about on this program, day in and day out. You look at the commentary, the narrative. You look at the way the American people and their POV is changing on Israel. And the way it moves and shows up in the Middle East, politically, economically, culturally, the whole issue of genocide inside of Gaza. The American people are pivoting. They are shifting on this question, on this conversation. But Cori Bush and Jamaal Bowman were punished, targeted for their position that others, again, are now taking, and they were pushed out. They were pushed out. And as I said a moment ago, far too many people were silent about that. Indeed, members, can I go there? Can I keep it real? Can I take you to the bridge? Can I hit it and quit it? There were too many Negroes in the Congressional Black Caucus. Their colleagues in the CBC who were too quiet about their having been targeted. But that's me. We'll get Cori Bush back to give you her response in our remaining moments with her when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
And the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley and Cori Bush. I've got 4 minutes left. I want to get out of her way, give her all 4 minutes left in this hour. The audience heard my commentary. Just offer any reflections as you will, Congresswoman Bush, about being targeted.
Yeah, well, we have to understand that I was targeted by AIPAC, who made the decision that they were going to come for 2 Black members of the United States Congress, 2 members of the Congressional Black Caucus, and that they were going to put their efforts there by way of millions of dollars to unseat us. They used racism and bigotry. They used lies and misinformation and disinformation in order to discredit us. And the fact that even in my race, they used, there was another Black person who was in the seat now, to used him to be the one to, to make it okay to distort my features and to darken my face to make me look, like an animal on some of the literature. They kept throwing up, oh, she hates Joe Biden. She wants children to drink water from contaminated water from lead pipes and all of these things. And there was so much money put into television and radio and internet that people started to believe it. Even my supporters were like, I don't know, Cori, because they're spending so much money against you that maybe something isn't right. But the thing is this, why are they targeting Black legislators? Why? And the thing is, all we stood up and said was that each and every person deserves safety and dignity and wholeness. Each and every person deserves to live free. That's what we said. What we said was, we don't want Israelis hurt, and we don't want Palestinians hurt. That's what we said. What we said was no to genocide, no to dropping bombs on babies, no to displacement. That's what we said. No to oppression, because if I could be complicit in oppression abroad, then what about being complicit in oppression here? And so I can't turn my nose up and talk about white supremacy in the United States if I allow the same thread, the root of that, to go into play in other countries. And I am silent, and I have a position to be able to speak out and do something. I love all people, and I'm going to stand against injustice wherever it pops up its head. And so I don't care what your background is. I don't even care if you voted against me. Do you need to eat? Because I'm going to make sure your need is met. Do you have a home? Do you have safety? That's what I care about. And so the thing is this, though, they have to remember this one, Tavis, they messed with a fighter.
Yeah.
And so I might have been pushed to the side for a minute. I might have needed to get myself together for a minute.
Yeah.
But baby, the fighter is back.
Oh, yeah. Muhammad Ali said it best. They asked him in that fight with Joe Frazier where his jaw got broke, as I recall. He could have stayed on the canvas and ended that fight. And they asked Ali, and there's a great story behind it. I ain't got time to tell the whole story, but they asked Ali in the press conference why he got up, and he said very simply, looking at all those reporters, the ground is no place for a champion. That's why I got up, because the ground is no place for a champion. So I take your point, Cori Bush. I got 30 seconds, right quick. Say a quick word about the podcast, Bowman and Bush.
Yeah, Bowman and Bush is on Zateo. You can go to YouTube and check it out. You want to hear what we got to say, because we're giving you the inside, the background, behind the scenes of what actually happens in the United States Congress.
The podcast is called Bowman and Bush. The website for her work is called Movement, 4 Freedom, movementforfreedom.com. Her political action committee, Politivistaction.com. So there's all the info you need to track the work and witness ongoing of Cori Bush, because the ground is no place for a champion. Cori, good to have you on. We'll do it again. Thank you for your time, and I love this hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Republican Curtis Sliwa is ramping up his New York City mayoral campaign, taking aim at Socialist Democrat Zohran Mamdani.
The one thing we saw from Zohran Mamdani that we did not see from Andrew Cuomo was energy. Nobody has more energy than me. Nobody is in more neighborhoods than me.
Sliwa is also preparing to face independents, Black Mayor Eric Adams, Jim Walden, and possibly Andrew Cuomo. Black Texas Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett has dropped out of the race to lead House Democrats on the Oversight Committee, citing a lack of support. California's Robert Garcia was chosen instead following a closed-door vote. And